As the Defund the Police movement spreads across the country last summer, some mayors of Democrat-run cities quietly pulled funding from the public police budgets while bolstering their own personal security. One America's John Hines spoke with the Open the Books founder for more on this. Take a look.
Adam Andrzejewski, as founder and CEO of the government accountability group Open the Books, you have discovered, looking at the numbers, that Democratic mayors have defunded their police and, in fact, in some cases, increasing spending on their own protection in, for instance, Chicago. What do you make of this apparent hypocrisy among Democratic mayors?
Well, what we found, our auditors, when we filed Freedom of Information Act requests on the 25 big city mayors that defunded their police departments, was that they were oftentimes, on one hand, defunding the protection in the neighborhoods for the people, but on the other hand, escalating to the tune oftentimes of millions of dollars a year, their own personal police security. This is called executive police units, and those units oftentimes during 2020 cost taxpayers millions of dollars.
For instance, Chicago. Talk about Chicago, because that seems to be a pretty blatant example or illustration of what you're talking about, according to your numbers and your research. Is that right?
Over the course of the last 5 years in the city of Chicago, the Executive Protection Police Detail, providing that personal security to the mayor, cost taxpayers over $17 million. Over the course of 5 years, it's up $750,000 per year on cost. Yet last year, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, she quietly defunded the police. According to our data captured at openthebooks.com, the headcounts of rank and file police officers in the city of Chicago were cut by 400 officers. This was while the pandemic was raging and while civil unrest loomed in the streets.
So she, I think, publicly said something about she doesn't support the mayor of Chicago defunding the police, but it appears that in effect, de facto, she did, while increasing her own security budget.
Well, actions speak louder than words, that's for sure. In the city of San Francisco, the mayor, London Breed, they've actually been pretty public with their defunding of the police. About $120 million has been transferred from the police budget to healthcare workers and other social service agencies, including workforce retraining. However, London Breed, her security detail over the course of the past 5 years cost taxpayers more than $12 million. Just last year, her detail cost $1 million more than what it cost in the year 2015.
By the way, this is only happening in Democratic-run cities. Is this correct?
In the top 25 major U.S. cities that defunded the police, 20 of those cities actually have admitted that they have an executive protection detail for their mayor and other public officials. Every single one of those towns that defunded the police and has the executive protection detail is a Democratic-run city.
What do you make of that connection then, where Democrats seem to be defunding the police in many cases and increasing the allocation for the spending of their own personal security as elected officials?
Why does police protection for the people matter less? This is a defunding of the police in the neighborhoods for the protection of the people, but these mayors are oftentimes increasing the amount of taxpayer-paid costs for the mayor's own personal security details.
Adam Andrzejewski, the founder, CEO of Open the Books, a government accountability group, watchdog group. Thank you for talking to us on One America News, sir. Good to catch up with you.
Thank you, John.